Welcome back to the Aristocrats Outwardly Adventure Anime Review Episode number 6. We are here reviewing the last 2 episodes officially aired for the series, and I really hope for season 2. I think a lot of people basically hope for season 2 because this season was really good. I'll talk about my final thoughts on the season soon, rather than talk about the episodes themselves. So basically, in the case of these 2 episodes, well, first of which, basically, Cayenne gets a summon. Yes, a summon. Oh, I did find something interesting though. The Tiffany's brother is voiced by Josh Grell, aka Jesse James McGrell. Yep. Lena is voiced by Morgan Garrett. Okay. I had to basically bring that up because a lot of people might ask me who the heck voices them. I don't know. So, in the case of these 2 episodes, well, we start out with basically we have summoning class, and everyone summons their creatures. One's not basically not cooperating with someone because not magic. And then Cayenne tries his, and he summons a freaking Demon King, who identifies himself as the Prince of Darkness. Yeah, this is his debut here. Now you might be thinking, who is voicing this character, you might ask? Well, let's see if I can find out here. Excuse me. Bradley Garth. Yep. So he summoned. Of course, the guy got right back because he agrees with corporate contract with him. And of course, the king informed about this. So, because for contract with an actual the Prince of Darkness, he is promoted to Viscount. Yep. Which that's why we're reading it currently in the manga right now. But like about 45 chapters in, basically he's already escorting a woman named Hinata, who is a saint. That's in the current stuff right now, I'm reading right now. So, okay, so I'll give you the main later. That happens at the end of the next episode. So, right afterwards, he's immediately summoned back to his home because monsters are attacking. Possibly an onslaught, but we'll keep it quiet until we get proof of it. So, talking to his brother, making his second appearance in the series, Alice, I believe his name is. Then he goes Ventures Go, seeing the girl from the 3rd episode again, which is nice to see her. Like, oh, hi, Rudy. Hi, Rudy. It just goes straight us here. And then just, okay, with some adventures, so Mila and Nina show up, and of course her brother's going to show up a little later, so excuse me for this, so he already summoned Seth again for this episode, so go and deal with them. Does investigating, and well, then he comes back, and of course, oh, here's Clyde and his wife show up, and then Tristan shows up too. Yep, like because everybody help out, protect her home. Like, oh, good. Yep. So haul out the monsters while he goes deal with the head. So he and Seth also summons basically. Looks like a butler. It's Diamante, who is basically like one of the 4 heavenly kings. Yep. Yeah, and it's like, oh, this would be like practice per se. Like, think of his physical third balance his monsters. And of course, this is all done by Aaron, the god of amusement. In the book, in the manga, they've heard of him as god of entertainment. So he takes him on, and apparently he beats him in the episode. Of course, he summons his other 2 monsters too. The other 2 he's contracted to fight the dragon, which he's taking form of. It's an absolute really good fight here. It takes up a good chunk of the episode. Guy's like, I want payback for you killing my parents. And he just disappears. Presumably got destroyed. And it's like, man, this is a lot of damage on Satisfactory. And of course everybody's happy. Think everything is over, but not just yet per se. Then, of course, basically, then you have Kai hang out with Tessa and Silk right after the whole ordeal is over with. And then Seth shows up like, help me! I've been kicked out of the hospital, kicked out of my castle because he's like, my wife has caught me cheating. He's like, and then we introduced to his beautiful wife. Like, oh my gosh. LaFane, voiced by Mallory Reddick, who's And of course, basically, Cayenne basically says this: why would she answer just a hot babe like her? Like, this is a beautiful woman. Yeah, this is quite something. Yeah. And of course, basically, they forgave him for this one time, and of course, went back to the castle. This is apparently toward the end of the episode where they kind of rush into several different stuff going on here where, oh, that town, does it? Yeah, he's basically tamed it where he's like, oh, he found the guild. It's like highlights of something we could potentially see for season 2. Tamed the town, took out adventurers, took out a priest. Yeah, it's basically hints that happened right after chapter 30. It's like teasing it. It's like, oh, this happened. And then, of course, he apparently built his own castle. Apparently, he's there with 3 of his fiancées. Like, really? You have a castle a little more precedent than her father's castle. And the last thing we see before it says, thank you for watching, is basically Cayenne being scolded by the entire cast of the series. And that's the final episode for you. Absolute really good episodes. And now to get to my final thoughts on the first season of the Aristocrats' Otherworldly adventure, Serving the Gods Too Far. I dropped the other part of it because it seemed too long of a title, so I went with the first part. I wanted to get the series for quite a while because I was really interested in it, and then recently got a chance to read it. I started reading it while I was still reading the manga for Farming Life in the World. So I decided to check it out, and I'm like, wow, this is so good, so interesting. I love stuff like this. It is so cool. The anime does a really good job, basically adapting what's there for source material. I, of course, have not read the light novels per se, but I am currently at chapter 46 right now of the released so far 55 chapters of the manga. I don't know. Now, volume-wise, they've been collected in volumes for the series, and the first I've gotten to is, well, I finished at volume 7. Now, I'm reading up to 45. I don't know what chapters are published in those other books. I have not got info about that, so I'm just continuing reading into the book as well. But this has been overall a really fun series. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My only criticism I have for the series... Okay, so ready. My only criticism for it is basically, well, not a credit for dub actors. I think they should, because I came across hearing the voices of Eric Vale, Christopher Sabat, and Lucy Christian. Yeah, hopefully they fix it really soon. But yeah, let's take a particular view. Next up, I don't know about tonight, probably tomorrow at this point in time, to work on those anime. Okay, next video. Bye.